Hello, my sewing friends, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Annette, and I'm sewing in Michigan.
What are you doing, Nellie? What are you doing? Are you sitting in a box? It's not a very big box. Doesn't have much room for you. I know that's what kitties do. They like to sit in boxes.
Happy Friday. I tell you, it has been a day. I just got home from a 4-hour faculty meeting. Um, so that's where I spent most of my day. And as soon as I got home, I wanted to change into something comfortable. So what I'm wearing here is the Anno blouse by Pauline Alice. It is a free pattern that I discovered this spring in the Sew Frugal challenge. Mine is made out of a cotton chambray fabric, but I have made this pattern probably at least 5 times. It's a very easy pattern. It's just basically a front, a back, and a sleeve, and then a neck facing, a pull over the head, no fasteners, blouse, and I'll stand up to show you what this looks like. So here's a fuller length look at this Anno blouse. You can see it flares out. It's kind of fitted at the bust and then it goes out from there. So it's very comfortable. I've made these in everything from quilting cotton to rayon to lighter weight cottons like this. They wash beautifully. It's just a nice casual top that I sometimes wear these in place of a t-shirt because it's just slightly more upscale or dressy than a t-shirt. Um, it's a free pattern. I really recommend it. The only things I would caution you about is the original pattern is very, very cropped. So I've added, I think, 4 to 6 inches to the length of this. I'm tall, um, but you might want to consider lengthening the bodice if you do make this pattern. Also, the original pattern has a puff sleeve. I made it into just a plain short sleeve on this particular blouse. But if you're looking for a free pattern for a simple over the head top, this is a great one. It's been quite a Friday, I tell you. I heard a crashing noise earlier that I didn't know where it came from, and when I investigated, I found out it was my front hall closet where I hang my coats, and there's boxes of Christmas decorations on the shelves and things like that. It's a storage closet, basically your coat closet you would have in your entry area. And this crashing noise, when I opened the closet, the whole wire rack apparatus had come out of the wall and fallen down. Um, I've I'm in an apartment. I've lived here for 13 years, and this has never happened before. So it's not that I put something heavy up there that made it fall. It's just over time, the accumulated effect of time, I guess. But that means that I've got all kinds of stuff on the floor now. The rack with all the hangers and the boxes that were underneath it. It's all behind that closet door right now, so I'm going to have to dig all that out and see what's going on there, and then call the apartment office to tell them I need a new closet system installed in that front closet. So it's always something, isn't it? But that's life. We just have to go with the flow when these things happen. Rock with the waves, as a friend of mine used to say. And it's frustrating, but life is always going to throw these things at us that we have to sort out, right? So that's the frustration of the day. However, I have something fun to share with you too. I do have a little haul to share with you. I have some patterns and some fabrics that I'm excited about. And I filmed the actual haul part where I hold up the items and talk about them last night. So I'm about to switch over to that footage, and you're going to see me in a different outfit and the last night version of me to talk about those. Then I'll come back at the very end in my today self to bid you goodbye. Okay, so let's look at this haul situation. I don't need to be bringing more stuff into my house, but there are times I can't resist. I always say that buying fabric and sewing are two different hobbies, and perhaps you agree that's one of the ways that we justify it to ourselves, right? I got some patterns. Hobby Lobby was having a sale. I believe they were 99 cents. And I mentioned before that I had picked up some patterns and I had showed them in a prior video. But I had made a list of pattern numbers that I was interested in, and some of those were not in the drawer at my local store. Either they were sold out of that pattern entirely or they didn't have my size range in that pattern. A lot of the larger size ranges were gone, so they had the, say, extra small, small, and medium size range, but then they didn't have the large XL, 2XL kind of size range. And right now I am wearing either a large or an extra large depending on the pattern measurements. So I need the pattern to include those sizes. And this got me to thinking about the size phenomenon we see in vintage patterns, right? They all seem to be so small. And if you watch Stephanie Canada, the vintage pattern seller, she always maintains that the reason that most of the vintage patterns that are still around are so small is because those are the ones that didn't get used as much. And I'm beginning to see that's true when I look in the pattern cabinets at the McCall's patterns for the ones I want, and they either are completely out of it or they're out of it in any size bigger than a medium, basically. So, long story short, I was not able to find some of the pattern numbers that I was looking for at my local store. But I did keep a list, and this past weekend when I went out of town, I went through two other cities that had a Hobby Lobby, and I stopped in there to see if they had the pattern numbers I was looking for. And I did find a couple more, so I'll show those to you. I did have to order one through mail order, and it's still coming, so I don't have that one, but I have a handful to show you. The other thing I have to show you is some fabrics. And these fabrics were almost all mail order except the first one that I'll show you. I have one from our local Fields Fabric store, but the others I'm going to show you are from Beyond the Pink Door and from a mail order company. I'll have to look at the name when I show it to you. It's EK something, EKG, something like that. We'll find out soon. So let me grab the patterns first and we'll start there. These patterns are all McCall's, so I won't say that with every one. I'll just give you the numbers. The first one we're going to look at is 8343, and it's this. It is a pullover top, kind of like a sweatshirt or sweater top. And what I like about this is the interesting neckline detail here. It has this one with the yoke is especially appealing to me. And there are several different styles in the pattern that I can try. But since we're coming into fall and winter, I think I'm going to be sewing up some warmer tops. So things made out of sweater knits or perhaps even fleece. I have a lot of fleece from last year. Around Thanksgiving time last year, Joann's was running sales on fleece, and I bought a lot of it at the time. Little did I know that Joann's would be gone at this time, you know, a year later, but I have several Rubbermaid totes full of fleece fabric in different prints that I'm eager to use too. The second pattern I got is 7948, and it is a dress pattern. This is one I've been looking at for a while. I think it's really a pretty style. It has that tiered skirt effect, but it's not super super bulky, right? There isn't too much fabric that just kind of swallows a person. So I really like that effect. I also like the sleeves here. It's hard to point across the way. Here we go. The sleeves have this little ruffle on the bottom, which I think is very pretty. And there's a couple different views there. I might hang on to this one until spring, but it's a pattern I had been looking at, so I was glad I was able to get it for a discounted price. The next one, this one is popular with quite a few YouTubers, and I never really thought it would be flattering on me or that it was something I would want to make, but then the more I see it, the more I like it. The more I see examples of it made up, the more I like it. And again, at this price, I thought I'd pick it up. So this is 7974, which is a V-neck dress that buttons up the front, and I imagine that you've seen this one before as well. It has different sleeve variations to it. Again, I kind of think of this as a summery dress, but perhaps the long sleeve version in the right print or the right color could be a more wintry dress as well. But I like a V-neck button-up dress, so I might give that one a try one day soon. And then the second to the last one, but the last one I'm going to show you. Like I said, I've got one on mail order right now. This is McCall's 7381, and again, it is a V-neck dress with a surplice type bodice in different lengths and different sleeves. But the thing I like about this is that crossover bodice, and it has pleats on the shoulders that I think are really attractive. So that long sleeve version that is shown in yellow on the pattern envelope might be one that I make relatively soon. Now, it doesn't show any fasteners. I think, if I remember correctly, it requires snaps. Let me see. What are the notions? Yes, it says front snap closing. So they're having you put snaps along the bodice there to keep it closed. I think I will do buttons. I like a button-up front or button bodice. I don't think I'll just leave it open because I'm always afraid that a wrap-around bodice is going to come open on me when I don't want it to. But I thought that was kind of pretty. And there is also a view. It's view D on here, and it might be hard to see, so I'll put it close up. You can see here it has a tie at the front. So the two sides of the bodice come together and tie. And I think that would be an attractive view to make too. Maybe make that one in the long sleeve version, because you can usually mix and match the sleeves and things like that on a pattern like this. Okay, let's get to the fabric now. You're going to notice a theme here because a lot of these fabrics are in shades of pink and red and such colors. So this first one I bought the other day at Fields Fabrics, and it was on the clearance table, and it was $3.77 a yard, and there wasn't very much left on the bolt. So I thought, I think there's enough to make a blouse. I had thought I would get maybe 2.5 yards, but there was only 2 1/8 yards on the bolt, but I took it all because it's wide. So I think I'll have enough to get a blouse. But it's this, and it is hard to see the true color on screen, but it is a deep kind of browny maroon color. You might call that an oxblood color, or you might call it a, I don't know, mulberry, something like that. But yeah, it's kind of almost brown, but it's a deep maroon in this sort of animal print, sort of floral motif. And I think that would make a really pretty blouse on me. Like I said, I like color schemes like that. So that's the first one I got. Now, as I show you these other red and pink materials, you'll see that when I go to wash them, I'll be able to probably put them all in the same load anyway. I have two Beyond the Pink door boxes here that I didn't unbox on camera, so I'm going to show you just the fabrics right now. And there was a bit of a delay in these because, as you might know, the Beyond the Pink door store is in Britain. It's in Dorset, England. And the lovely Andrea sent her U.S. customers a notice that there were some shipping complications to work out because of the tariff situation. And she's had to suspend shipping to the U.S. for a little while. So I had stuff on order, and I was waiting for boxes that had to be held back a little bit. But everything has come now, and I can show you. So the fabric that I got in the August Think Pink box is this, and I love it. Oh, I love it. Look at this beautiful purple and pink floral print. And this is like a viscose crepe. It's very drapey. It'll make a beautiful blouse, I think. There were not two colorways, but actually two different fabrics in the August box. There was this one, and then there was a blue floral that was the same type of fabric, but it was a different pattern. So it wasn't just a different colorway of this, it was a different pattern altogether. And as I said, the main color scheme there was blue, and I liked it. Many times with Andrea's boxes, if there's three colorways, I really like two of them, but don't like the third, or that kind of thing. But in this case, I would have been satisfied with either fabric, but I did prefer this one. So I'm very happy to get that. So I'm going to get that one washed up as soon as I can, so I can think about getting started on a blouse. And the reason I keep talking about blouses is that's an area in my wardrobe that's really lacking. So I'm trying to make more blouses. Now, that was the August Beyond the Pink door fabric. This is the September. And this one was quite delayed, again, because of the shipping issues. But it finally came, and oh, it's so pretty. Now, there were three colorways of this, and again, there were two that I really liked and would have been happy with either one, and then a third that, it was all right, but it would have been my third choice, and I got one of the two that I liked. So I got this one. Now, this came in a dark background, black, I believe black or dark navy background. It came in this pink, which is kind of a, what I think of as kind of a mint pink. If you know, you know. A beautiful pink that reminds me of those peppermint lozenge candies that my grandpa used to get. And it has this block print or tiled pattern on it. And we know that tiled prints are very popular these days. And these are things like, I'm trying to hold it up close to the camera so you can see, but things like butterflies and suns and moons and snakes, and there's a tiger on there. I think that's really beautiful. And it's this lovely, lovely shade of candy pink, which is another favorite of mine. I love pink. I love wearing pink. I love sewing with pink. It's so pretty. So those are the two fabrics that came in the Beyond the Pink door boxes, or the Think Pink subscription boxes. Now, I did have two other fabrics on order from Andrea that have also just come. So let me grab those and show them to you. These are both drapey viscose rayon fabrics, again in, I believe, 2-meter lengths that I wanted to make blouses out of. And when I saw them on her website, they were too pretty for me to pass up. So the first is this one, which is a pink and blue kind of a chevron print. I just thought that was so, so pretty. And I can't wait to use that. That's my color scheme in a nutshell right there. And then the other one is a blue and kind of purple, blue and lavender and kind of a pinky purple that is just this kind of abstract, you might call it a large animal print, but it's just kind of an abstract. But I think that's really beautiful too. So that will most likely become a blouse as well. One more fabric to show you. Now this last fabric, there's a story here. It is from EKB Textiles. And they're located in Los Angeles. Ordered this online. It's a 3-yard piece. You can see the tag that came on it here, EKB Textiles. And I had a good experience ordering from them. I had never heard of them before, but the package came promptly and they sent me all kinds of verifications and tracking information and stuff. So it was a good shopping experience. This is a sweater. Well, it's supposed to be a sweater knit. It's a little scratchy and stiff for a sweater knit, in my opinion. But I'm planning on making something autumnal that I have a plan for a collab with another YouTuber on that. And I wanted to order some sweater knit in a maroon or wine type of color. And this is the first one I found. I'm going to hold it up close to the screen so you can see the texture of it. And in fact, it's doubled over. Let me open it up to a single layer so you can see. There we go. You can see the texture of it. It has kind of a cable pattern to it. It's very pretty, but it's just a little bit stiff and polyester-y feeling. But it is the right color. It is what I wanted, other than the stiffness. I wanted something that had a little more bulk and softness to it. And I had a bit of an unfortunate experience with that because I had found exactly what I wanted on Etsy, which was a sweater knit that actually had a nice cable pattern to it and was actually a thick, soft, sweatery material. And it was in a dark, berry color like this. And so I had ordered this one, but I went ahead and ordered that one too. And I expected to like that one better. I thought when that one comes, I'll probably use that for my make and just, put this one in my stash for something else later. Well, after waiting about 2.5 weeks for it to ship, I got a notification from the Etsy seller that they had canceled my order and refunded my credit card because they were unable to provide that material. So that was a disappointment. I'm not out anything because I got my money back and I did see the credit on my credit card. So you could say no harm done, right? No harm, no foul. And I do have this fabric to work with. But one of the things that I do miss about Joann's is they did have a nice selection of sweater knits, I thought. At least my local store did. And at times like these, I wish I could go there and look at what they have. I did go to Fields Fabrics, which is my local independent fabric store, and look at their selection of sweater knits. And they did have some really nice ones, but their color scheme wasn't for me. It was mostly oatmeal colors and tan and, like a very pale pink, just very pale pastels or grays and beiges. They didn't have any bolder colors. If I couldn't get this dark red type of color, I would have loved a bright cobalt blue maybe, or a bright orchid purple or something like that. Those are colors I think of as autumnal, those jewel shades. But everything they had in stock right now was that, beigey oatmeal type color scheme, which is fine. I mean, I have things made in those colors, but it wasn't what I was looking for this time around. So I'm hoping that as the season goes on and Fields Fabrics hopefully gets in more fabrics and a bigger selection, they will have some of those colors that I'm interested in. I've looked online. The selection was not very good. I was looking for a cable sweater knit fabric for sewing that was, thick and soft and had a very large pronounced cable running through it. And I found a few, but they were mostly non-US companies, so there would be issues with shipping and duties and that kind of thing. I looked on Mood Fabrics, which is located in New York, and I often get fabric from them, but they didn't have, most of their sweater knits were kind of like a basket weave look in multicolors. So they didn't have solids or cable patterned ones. Yeah, so I feel like I kind of struck out, but doesn't that happen when you're looking for something very specific like that? If you just go into the fabric store to look, you can find all kinds of things that you like, but if you're looking for a specific color or texture or type of fabric, oftentimes our options are much more limited. But I have this, and it's going to make a beautiful garment as we progress into fall. One other thing I got from Beyond the Pink Door that I forgot to show you are these little labels. They're from Sarah Hart's, and they're sew-in labels, and they say, good things take time. They're green, and they have some what looks like fall flowers on them. It's quite a large label, but I thought those were especially pretty. So I did treat myself to those too. Thank you so much for joining me for this Friday Sews. I need to tackle that closet now. Think of me. And hopefully get a little sewing in tonight and more this weekend. And I will talk to you again very soon. Thanks. Bye.